Hi everyone, welcome back to Pacific Front channel. Climate change has opened up the waters of the Canadian Arctic, increasing the region's strategic importance and presenting new security challenges for Canada. To address these challenges within Canada's vast and vulnerable Arctic coastline, the Canadian government has ramped up its effort to better protect its north. They have invested in NORAD, commissioned the Harry the Wolf AOPV, and now plan to acquire a new submarine fleet capable of prolonged Arctic operation. So today, let's look at Canada's 60 billion new submarine project, who the candidates are, and the geopolitical stakes that comes with it. Stay tuned. Canada's new submarine acquisition fell under the Canadian Patrol Submarine Project to replace the aging Victoria-class submarine in the Royal Canadian Navy. The procurement process was formally launched by Canadian DND in July 2024. And in September, Canada issued a Request for Information or RFI to shipbuilders to gain further information on the availability of submarines that are currently in service or in production and their capability and capacity to build and deliver up to 12 submarines. To avoid gaps in Canadian submarine capabilities, Canada anticipates a contract award by 2028 with the first delivery no later than 2035. The RFI also engaged in other key elements, including in-service support, training, and infrastructure for the new submarine fleet, including the involvement of Canadian industry throughout the life cycle of the fleet. Canada's key submarine capability requirements will include stealth, lethality, persistence, and Arctic deployability, meaning that the submarine must have extended range and endurance. The fleet will need to provide a unique combination of these requirements to ensure that Canada can detect, track, deter, and if necessary, defeat adversaries in Canadian waters, while also contributing to and supporting Canada's partners and allies. Canada's current submarine fleet consists of 4 Victoria-class submarines bought from the UK in the late 90s. However, these boats have proven inadequate for Arctic operations and frequently spend more time in dry dock than on missions. Furthermore, its submarine fleet is based in the Atlantic Ocean and contribute mainly to NATO collective assurance, deterrence, and defense measures in the Euro-Atlantic. However, if we look at the map, Canada's geographic sphere of interest actually encompasses 3 oceans, the Atlantic, Pacific, and Arctic. Therefore, the Royal Canadian Navy requires a substantial submarine force in terms of numbers and capability, for example, from conducting maritime surveillance in the Arctic, to counter maritime smuggling in the North Pacific, and to contributing to NATO's deterrence posture in the Euro-Atlantic. That's why 12 boats, or 8 minimum, are deemed an appropriate number. If below that, the viability of the project would be called into question. However, this project is not without challenges. First, maintaining and expanding a 4-boat fleet of submarines is an expensive investment. A $60 billion investment over the program's lifespan is a long-term commitment. The government must be able to address the question of how to expand but afford its future submarine force amidst competing budget allocation with other major projects like the River-class destroyer and unexpected cost overruns in the future. Second, meeting the project time frame from contract award in 2028 to delivery in 2035 will be very challenging, especially if Canadian industry involvement is mandated. Submarine takes longer to build than surface vessels, and both internal and external factors can affect this time frame. The government and the RCN must prepare a backup plan in case the submarine capability gap cannot be avoided by 2035. And third, buying 12 new submarines is one thing, manning them is another. The RCN already faces recruitment and retention challenges. The Navy has consistently failed to meet its requirement targets for over a decade, while also struggling to retain experienced personnel, with many leaving due to various factors. The RCN is working to address these issues, including with initiatives like the Naval Experience Program or NEP. The NEP allows individuals to join for a year on a trial basis with early data showing positive impacts on retention. At least several submarine designs are publicly known to be competing. Sub is offering the C-71 expeditionary submarine based on the A-26 design. It offers a unique blend of operational flexibility and advanced technology designed specifically for Arctic operation. While France and Spain could offer tailored models that are more adaptable in size and operational scope with their short-fin Barracuda and the S-80 submarines respectively. However, I think two candidates emerge as a more appealing option. TKMS with its Type 212CD comes with a geopolitical hook. Last summer, Canada signed a trilateral letter of intent to establish a strategic partnership with Germany and Norway, two NATO allies already collaborating on the Type 212CD. This offers the promise of a deepened NATO interoperability, shared logistics, and collective rearmament within the Euro-Atlantic Alliance. The CEO of TKMS also said that if Canada joins the current program, it's possible the first Canadian boat could arrive within its requested time frame. This pitch to work with old allies could be seen as a backroom European pushback against the South Korean bid, which they might need considering who their competitor is. A joint venture of two Korean shipbuilding giants, Hanwha Ocean and HHI, is offering the KSS-III submarine for this project, and they are doing it a step further, submitting a detailed proposal worth up to $24 billion with projected cost, delivery timeline, a plan to train crews, and construct a maintenance facility in Canada. The RCN says it wants its first submarine by 2035. The Korean claims it can deliver 4 by that time using robotics and advanced manufacturing techniques. Furthermore, South Korea is not just offering defense equipment, they are offering a relationship. And they don't see this as a one-time deal either. Besides submarines, South Korea is also bidding for the Canadian Army's indirect fire capabilities with the K9 Thunder SPH and Chunmo NLRS. From a geopolitical standpoint, choosing the Type 212CD might be better for Canada since it can provide better interoperability with NATO allies. But if we look at the broader need for modernization for the Canadian Armed Forces, choosing South Korean design might benefit Canada in the long run. Building a relationship with them now will not only help Canada's modernization effort, but also open a path for Canada's defense industry revival. They've done it with Australia. They've done it with Poland. And I bet they will be willing to do it with Canada too. What do you think of Canada's patrol submarine project? And what will be your pick for this acquisition? Share with us in the comment section below. Thank you for watching everyone. I'll see you in the next one.